Guy recording live from Twitch TV. We're here to continue on with our building our game live right here on Twitch. So we're going like as before, taking off where we left off. So I did get some comments about the text not being big enough, so make it a little bit bigger in the editor so people can see it better when they're rewatching it. So just leaving off, we built out our uh, two-dimensional display node and container. We're going to continue on with that. Hopefully we'll be getting close to rendering some stuff on the screen. So to start off, let's just make sure our tests are still passing. So hackslib run munit test. Tests are still good. So let's continue on. So what I'm going to build, so right now our display is very abstract. Doesn't really work with any rendering engine right now. So let's get it working with a rendering engine. So what I like to do is I like to build out an additional interface here that is our layer manager. And this actually handles all the game layers so that we can interact directly with certain layers of the game. So if we wanted just to talk to the UI portion of the game, or if we just wanted to talk to the atmosphere part of the game, or if we just want to interact with the units. So we can set up these layers, or if we just want to just interact with the 3D area, we can set up these layers and we can just talk directly to the layers. And because we have a container system, each of the layers, each of the pieces can fit in individual layers. So what we're going to do is we're going to say function add layer by name. So each layer has a name. I'll give it a layer name. And we're going to give it the container. This is going to be a display node container. And in this case, we're actually going to add a renderer, which we don't have yet. And for right now, this is our biggest gap in our abstraction as the renderer. So we're going to create an interface. And I haven't quite fully thought through how I want to do the rendering. I definitely just want to call render. The problem is with that is we're going to have some sort of reference to the frame buffer when we're using COV. If we need access to the stage, if we're using OpenFL, or if we need an OpenGL context. So I don't really, I'm not sold on this yet. So maybe we'll just kind of play with it and see what we come up with. So for now, I'm going to just add the frame buffer from CA. Well, this will likely change, just so you guys know. So the reason I'm having the render here, so that each layer can actually render on its own. So theoretically, if we wanted to, we could have OpenFL. We could just pass in like an OpenFL renderer. We could have a Lime renderer, so we just pass in a Lime renderer. So we could just keep changing out the way things are. We can have our CA renderer. We can have anything we want, anyhow we want to render this. This render is our biggest clue to our abstraction. I gotta change that. So anyway, we're going to continue on. The render is fine because now it's abstracted here on the layer manager. I'm going to say get layer by name, and I'm going to get the layer name. And this will give us a display node container. We're going to add a function like this. How about we like get container or get layer name? We pass it a display node. Gives the name. We can sort of reverse look it up. Make sure I do container on this. Why not? And then we're going to do remove layer name. String I'll just do void. I always like to, at a minimum, document my interfaces. At a minimum, at least I'm going to do a little bit of it here. I know I'll probably go back and just add documentation offline, just so that if people are going through looking through the interfaces, it's not totally impossibly vague. So I'm going to say adds a layer to the foreground. So layers move from layers are added from background to foreground. So that means, it's ugly. Whenever we add a layer, it actually adds it to the foreground. So everything is added on top. You know what? I think I want to do it. Yeah, that's how I want to do it. So here we go. I think that's how I want it. Let's change it. And change the documentation. So I'm going to say function get layers. And this will give us all the layers. Display. And what should we do? Array? Why not? Yeah. So there we go. That should do it. That should be all we need. So in this instance, we're just going to create a new package. We'll call it layer. And so the layers are not 2 or 3 dimensional. They're managers. So we don't really need a concrete implementation. And we just need a name for this. We'll just call it the renderable. Horrible name. Oh well. We don't really have to deal with it because we stick this into our dependency injection. We know it's the layer manager is actually going to be rendering things. Probably. So let's start it off. Okay, so pax lib run in unit create display dot layer dot renderable layer manager test. There we go. Here's our test. As always, you know what? I'm going to create a live template for this. If you missed the live template creation in the past, you can see it again. So we're going to command colon. We're going to go to search and say live templates. And then we just go add plus template. We'll do this Maka2. That's all it does. The context is x. Done. There we go. So now we go over to our unit test here. We should just be able to do Maka2. Oops. There we go. Maka2 is here. Alright, we're going to get rid of this. I know you see me always get rid of that. Do I ever use it? Once in a while. It's rare. I don't like to have hard dependencies when I'm setting up my tests. But to me, I feel like that is sort of hinting at a precondition. So I've got to close my blinds because they're shining right in my face. So sorry for the delay. Alright. No more sun in the face. So let's do this. Okay, so we're going to create our layer manager. And that should be all we need. Okay. Layer manager equals new layer manager. Tear down. Layer manager is null. So we're going to say test should add layer by name. And what we need to do, we can get rid of this. It'll come in later. Our test suite should have our, it doesn't. Okay. We don't need this anymore. Just kind of doing some cleanup now. And we don't need our display node. Should be what we need here. So what if I could just do this constructor? Nope. Wrong language. Oh, no, that's the right language. I definitely dropped the ball on that one. No wonder it didn't generate it. Why didn't anyone tell me? You want a hacks class. Renderable layer manager. I put it in the wrong spot. Okay. I'll make sure no one's not chatting at me. Layer. Let's drop this in over here. Okay, so now we're back into this. So add layer by name. First of all, we need to add our implementation layer manager. And we're going to add all of our pieces. Okay, so should add layer by name. So layer manager, add layer by name. We'll call it first, or we'll call it bottom. How about that? Bottom. And then we're going to create a, might as well do this, because it's going to happen every time. We're going to need our container. In fact, this is maybe correct. Renderable layer manager. Doesn't make sense. Here we go. Display node container. All we need there. Yeah. Keep it abstract. So what we're going to do is we're going to say container equals new 2-dimensional node container. Let's stick concretely on this case. And we'll call it bottom container, just in case we create more. So here, we're going to create the bottom container. And actually, one more thing with the implementation is I'm actually going to create a convenient way of actually holding all the containers. And I'm going to do one more thing. I'm actually going to have the layer manager extend base object, just because I want it to. It's on a really, only a little hard dependency on the framework. And it's not really that hard of a dependency, just prefer to have it in there. So now when we create the layers, called a layer map, string display node container. So now when we create this, we actually create it in the init. Is it better? Debatable. I like the idea of if we wanted to create layer managers ad hoc, we do know it goes through the regular life cycle, and we can intercept the life cycle whenever we needed to, if we need to. Display node container. There we go. So, first of all, we're going to need to, I would prefer to keep this private. So we're going to implement two functions. Okay, so bottom container's in. So now I'm going to say, we'll just get the map screen display node container equals. Actually, it's just an array. Layer manager, get add layer by name. Oh, we already did that. Get layers. Fix this. I'm a stickler about clean code, so don't hate on me. So assert our equal 1. We'll call this our layers. Layers dot length, and assert our equal. The bottom container is layers. Oops, yeah. We get the same one. So now we've got to go back to our implementation and let's make sure this compiles. There we go. Uh-oh. Let's override it. So it didn't build, which is fine. So layer manager does not have a constructor. What? Layer manager does not have a constructor. Display layer underscore layer manager does not have a constructor. Sure. Yeah, we're gonna skip that for now. Why is it saying this in the test? It seems really odd. 37. Oh, we need to do this. Okay, that's the problem. I wasn't looking far enough. So first of all, we've got the renderable layer manager test line 22 is missing a semicolon, which is a bummer. And then it's actually missing the render, which is the frame buffer. It's not found. This is what I was not too excited about, but it's going to just have to happen. So we're going to actually add lib So now on our here on our render has that frame buffer. Yeah, see, that's where this is a problem. So we need to abstract this because it's not going to find the frame buffer. So we're going to ditch this. We're going to call this call it graphics. Don't like that. Stick it with it for now. Well, we're going to go back and change that. It's just so we can get past this build issue. So we're going to fix this. So now it just needs some extraction. That should do it. Audience. Okay, so we just need to go back to our test, and we're actually going to just mock out our renderer. Okay, and our renderer. And we need to add a layer of a name, our renderer. There we go. Should get a failing test in true 2D fashion. It actually straight up blew up on us. Okay. I wonder what broke it. Bet you has something to do with this. This renderer. You can pass them all for now. Let's see what it does. Track down why this is failing. There we go. So something's happening here someplace. That passed. Likely this is returning null. Let's see if that's what it is. There we go. There's our failing test. Okay. We're failing. Yes, we failed. So what we're going to do, in true DD fashion, we're going to actually add this in the most generic way possible. So we're going to say layer name and our container. And you'll see that we ignored our renderer. We can come back and fix that. Don't worry about it. So for the key in layer map, we're going to take a return value, which is our array. Let's do that. That val push layer map get to that val. What is this? Yeah. So we don't even need to do that in this case. going to set this to the display node container. And so we pass. So now what we're going to do is we're not saving the renderer. So, and we don't really have a way of seeing it, that it was saved. We could expose the layer map, which I'm not super thrilled about. We could public function get layer map. And then we can get it that way. Another container. That will give us that. At least in this case, we can overwrite it, which I'm okay with. And it's not part of our interface, so likely no one will ever have to play with it unless they want to do something kind of nasty, which I guess is okay. If they want to go ahead and muck around with how the internals work of the renderable layer manager, I think I'm okay with that actually. So let's change this around. Refactoring is just a part of life here. Get the layer map. And so layers dot get bottom. It should still pass. There we go. Okay, so one thing we need to do is we need to save our renderer. And I did it this way on purpose. I knew this was going to happen. I just wanted to kind of show you how we sort of iteratively go through. We're actually going to create a type def, which is our render container. And this is going to actually hold our node, or actually let's call it our container display container, and it will hold our renderer. And so now we're actually going to use that instead. And we're just going to go through and just refactor this, which is render container. And we're going to do this. So now, layers.get the bottom. We call it container. Yeah, container. We just want to pass our render here. And here, we're going to make sure that our renderer is being passed in and being stored. So now we're making big changes now. I'm going to go to this one, say our container. Renderer. So that should break. Okay. Map and the container and container. Okay. Render container for the display name. For okay. So say container. Okay. 141. Oh, it's in the test. 141. Oh. Render. Here we go. We're still passing. So nothing has changed much. But we are moving forward, and things are going to be cleaner as we go. So what we're going to do is we should add layer to top level container. So this is something we hadn't touched yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually pass in a top-level container. And then we're going to verify when we actually add it to the layer, we're actually going to add it to the container itself so that we can guarantee the order. And so on git layers, the problem with git layers is that we can't guarantee the order because it's going through a map, hash map. So we'll deal with that separately if we need to. So, but in this case, we're actually going to add it to an actual container. That's why I called this bottom container. I am planning ahead on this, believe it or not. So this is going to be our top level container that holds all of our view. And let me put this here. Actually, let me put this here. New two-dimensional display node container. We're going to use this to concrete implementation at the time. We know the interface is going to work. A little bit easier to validate instead of just checking all of our mocks. We could mock it all. If you guys want me to go through and mock all of this, I totally will. Just let me know. Let's set the container here. Container. Actually, in this case, let's set the constructor. And so we have our top level container. Display node container. This guy, top container. Top container. IntelliJ Smart yet? Nope. Top container. Display node container. And what we'll do is we'll just do what we did earlier. We could do this. We can do this. Let's try this one. Maybe we want to change that to our map. We get. No. So now we do have a getter. Get top container. Display node container. And it's going to return our top container. So in this case, if anyone wanted to override it, they could. And that's cool. I enjoy that. Let's continue on. So we have our container there. So we're going to do the exact same thing here. And then our container, let's say this here, assert, are equal. Our top, I think it's a container in this case. Container is going to be the bottom container's parent. Additionally, the container young children is going to be 1. Equal is the bottom container. This is going to be our container get child at 0. Everything should work eventually. It should fail first, as always. Always fail first. And so here we set the layer. We can do some sanity checking. We'll do that later. Making sure things are not null. We don't want to add null things. In our case, we're going to say top container, add child, and that's going to be the container. Nothing too super exciting there, but it just proves that this works and we don't ever break it again. Continuing on. Test should not add null container. I'm going to grab this one, and we're going to say here 0 null. And it breaks. So we should be able to say if container is equal to null, return. There we go. And it seems like a sort of a silent way of doing this. We could throw an error. Let's do that. Let's throw, let's just return. I don't like exceptions. Should not add a null renderer. Get these two out of the way. There we go. Render equal to null. There we go. Now, should add new container to the top of the previous container. So we're going to do this one. And we're going to create a new one, var top display node container equals new display node container. Top init. And we're going to set the top one here. Top. And now, let's say assert equal, make sure we have two children. And we need to assert that equal, I'm going to have the bottom one first. This is going to be our container get child at 0 and get child at 1, and this is going to be our top. And let's test it. Oh. Two-dimensional display container. And it passes. Perfect. So we know our display system's working, our layer manager's working. Let's continue on. If we need to add more to it, some people say that you have to add every single test case. That's not necessarily false, but sometimes we don't ever get anything done if we try and think of every case. We'll find cases as we develop, and we just write more test cases. I think this will do fine. I don't see any glaring problems with what we got going on right now. So say should get layer by name. And this is going to be one of our most used methods in our game, because we're always going to be getting our layers. We're always going to be communicating with our layers. So here we go. We have our bottom layer. Let's add our top and be able to get both. Do that. And this. Okay. Assert our equal. We'll do our top one first. Why not? And say layer manager get layer by name top. Bottom container, bottom, and we're going to do An additional assertion. No, we've already tested that. Fail should fail, and it does. So we go back here to our layer manager, get layer by name, and it's going to be our render container equals layer map, get layer name, and we're just going to return this. That's why we're going to write a separate test for it, because if this could be null, this is going to be there we go. So continuing on, test should return null if no layer found by name. Just need one this time. Assert is null. Layer manager, get layer by name, bottom. Oops, that will cause food. And so that should fail. It should actually crash. Boom, called it, nailed it. So if render container is null, return. Two different ways we could approach this. We could actually check the layer map to see if the key exists, or we can check to see if the container is null. And with the container is null, imagine that'd be just a hair faster without having to check the key and then pulling it again and then returning it. So we're going to stick with that. Get layer name. Should return layer name if passed a container. So we're going to add just this one. Assert are equal bottom, and we pass the layer manager get layer name, and we pass it the bottom container. This should fail, and it does. So what we need to do is we need to actually iterate through the keys. So for key and layer map keys, that'll give us our strings. If key equals no, so layer equals layer map get display node container. If layer is equal to display node container, return the key. And 40. Oh. And we need to, it's not a display node container, it's a render container minus state container. 41. Right, that goes backwards again. We got our layer container. Sorry about that. Passed. Okay. I'm not going to write a case test case for the null case. So we're going to do remove layer. Okay. Let's do this. Should remove layer by name. Let's just copy this down. And we're going to say layer manager, remove layer by name. We're going to move the bottom. And so we're going to search our equal one container children. Our search bottom is null. Bottom container connect. A search are equal. Top container gl dash one. I don't know if we covered this case. I think we did. Okay. Remove layer by name. We actually go to the layer map. Remove layer name. And then on our, actually we need to do first, we need to get our render container. And get layer by name, layer. Just type the map directly. Layer map get layer name. Okay, so I guess this is our render container. And then we want to talk to our top container, remove child, render container. Okay, so it looks like null is not expected. This line 119, so 120. Oh, because we need to do 0. There we go. Swell. Okay, one more test, I believe. Should not remove layer if name is not found. So we're going to go here. This is actually just checking to see that things won't actually crash. I think we could go here. This should crash, as I thought. And so we're going to say if render container equal to null, return. All right, there we go. We've got our layer manager. It's very abstract. We can use any sort of renderer with it. I'm going to come back and clean up this graphics thing. I'm going to give myself a day to sort of think about how I want to do this. Tomorrow will be our rendering day. Tomorrow we're going to get some goo on the screen. And in the meantime, go ahead and play around with this if you'd like. If you want to see if you're going to implement your own renderer, make suggestions, all about it. And yeah, everyone have a great day. And oh wait, we got to push this up to GitHub first. What have I done? So we're going to add our sources, add our tests, git commit, all with a message, added a layer manager, and we're going to push. maybe not. Yep, internet is github.up. Git push Skylar master. The website seems to be up. Okay, let's tag it. 2016-03-02. OH31. The message added layer manager. Git push Skylar. I think GitHub might be struggling. Appears that GitHub is struggling. So I'll get this up there. I think I've proven by now I'm a man of my word. So I'll put this up on YouTube. Anyone leave some comments. Hopefully the font is bigger for everyone to read. Leave comments, ask questions. Oh, it made it up. All right, let's see if we can push the master. Struggle. All right. No, yeah, get full. Skylar master. Notice. Oh, that's a new file. Someone gave me a merge request to run this on Linux. So, resolved merge. So now you can actually run Linux if you're running Linux. You can take a quick look. There we go. Thank you for adding that. If you're out there, I very much appreciate it. Let's push this up. Oh, looks like it's up. I just want to double check. No, it didn't go. Oh, that's cool. Push. There we go. And we have our layer manager notes. You can double check it's there. Should be, I'd be blown away if it wasn't. There it is. And then we should have our tags here. There it is. Yeah. All right. Great. All right. Thank you guys for following along. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Maybe see you tonight. We'll see if I free up some time. And you guys have a great day.